So with all this talk of the rapture and it happening on September 23rd, which assuming I get this video out on time should be today, um, I just wanted to talk about why this idea of the rapture is just not biblical and why I personally stopped believing it simply when I just started reading scripture, and the verses that they pull up to try to prove it is just not good examples, are about something else, and in context they don't mean what they're talking about. So starting off, we have Matthew 24 is a very commonly quoted chapter to prove it, and I'm gonna pull up the verse that they use. So this is out of context, right? This is the verse they'll use. It says, "And then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in the sky, and then all the tribes of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of the sky with power and great glory. And he will send forth his angels with a great trumpet, and they will gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the sky to the other." All right, so let's read about this in context. The first thing is they're looking at the temple. Coming out of the temple, Jesus was going along, and his disciples came up to the point of the temple buildings to him. So this is, the temple in Jerusalem, right? Where they sacrificed animals and such. He answered and said to them, "Do you not see all these things? Truly I say to you, not one stone here will be left upon another which will not be torn down." So he's talking about the destruction of the temple. This is an event that happened in 70 AD that Jesus is prophesying about, and he's saying that this will happen. And then they're sitting on the Mount of Olives, literally the next sentence, and one of the disciples came to them privately. "Tell us, when will these things happen?" These things referring to the destruction of the temple. "And what will be the sign of your coming and of the end of the age?" All right. And Jesus said to them, "See it that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, saying, 'I am the Christ,' and will deceive many. And you are going to hear of wars and rumors of wars." That's one that they love to quote. All these wars that are happening around the world, with Israel and all this stuff, and wars and rumors of wars, guys. But he's talking to the disciple, and you are going to hear of wars and rumors of wars. Not you, 2025, this guy in 2025, you're going to hear from. No, this is talking to the disciples that are with him right now in this moment. "See that you are not alarmed, for those things must take place, but that is not yet the end. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and in various places there will be famines and earthquakes. But all these things are merely the beginning of birth pains." All right? The famines and earthquakes, kingdom rise against kingdom. These are all things that they love to quote that say, the end times are coming, guys, the end times are upon them. But in context, what is Jesus talking about? He's talking about the destruction of the temple, something that happened in 70 AD, 2,000 years ago. This is not talking to us. Obviously, this is still profitable for teaching and learning what this is a very important topic, actually. But this is not talking about us. And it says, "Then they will deliver you to tribulation." People love to use this word tribulation to talk about the 7 years tribulation and all this is going to happen, blah, blah, blah. And the tribulation already happened, guys. Do you not know what happened to the prophets, to the disciples? What happened to them? They were burned, they were persecuted, they were crucified. All the things that people are claiming are going to happen to Christians. I did not have to endure any amount that the disciples went through. They lived under Roman rule, and they were not tolerant for Christians at all. So, because they will kill you, you'll be hated by all nations because of my name. Once again, talking about the disciples at that time. "And at that time, many will fall away and will betray one another and hate one another. Many false prophets will arise and will deceive many." And this is true. "And because lawlessness is multiplied, most people's love will grow cold. But the one who endures to the end, he will be saved." This is also misquoted a lot. But "this gospel of the kingdom shall be proclaimed in the whole world as a witness to all nations, and then the end will come." The end of what? The end of the age, right? The end of the Mosaic age, where they had to sacrifice the animals, where they had to do all these ceremonies and things. And now we are under the Messianic age, where Christ is ruling currently, and we are under his dominion, right? The end will come. Not the end of the world, the end of the age, right? "The abomination of desolation and tribulation," right? Keep in mind, this is still in this same conversation. "Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation, which was spoken of through Daniel the prophet, saying in the holy place, let the reader understand." All right, let's look at what this is talking about. All right, so I'm in Daniel chapter 9 right now, and this is Daniel's prayer. And it says, "No one understand this. From the time the word goes out to restore and rebuild Jerusalem until the Anointed One." Who is the Anointed One? Jesus Christ. "The ruler comes, there will be 7 sevens and 62 sevens. It will be rebuilt with the streets and a trench, but in times of trouble. After the 62 sevens, the Anointed One will be put to death and will have nothing." Who was put to death for our sins? Jesus. "The people of the ruler who will come will destroy the city and the sanctuary, the temple," right? "The end will come." The end? What? The end? The end of the world? No. The end of the age will come like a flood. "War will continue until the end, and desolations have been decreed. He will conform a covenant with many for 1 7 in the middle of the 7. He will put an end to sacrifice and offering." Do we have to sacrifice and offer anymore? No, we do not. "And at the temple he will set up an abomination that causes desolation until the end that is decreed is poured out on him." All right, so now we know what the abomination of desolation is, right? It's talking about destruction of the temple. "Then those who are in Judea must flee to the mountains, and whoever is in the field must not turn back. Whoever's on the housetop must not go and get their things," right? "But woe to those who are pregnant and to those who are nursing babies in those days. But pray that your flight will not be in the winter or on a Sabbath, for then there will be a great tribulation, such as not occurred since the beginning of the world until now, nor ever will." So these people love to say that this is, they're running away from the. So this is talking about how they are going to be running away from the destruction. "Do not turn back. Get out of the city because the Romans are going to come." I mean, he doesn't say that, but this is what happens, right? The Romans are going to come. They're going to destroy your city. They're going to destroy the temple. So get out, flee, right? "For then there will be a great tribulation," all right? A great tribulation when? A great tribulation 2025? Great tribulation right now? No, great tribulation in whatever 30 AD this was. He's talking about tribulation in 70 AD with the destruction of the temple. It says then, "For just as lightning comes from the east and appears even to the west, so will the coming of the Son of Man be. Wherever the corpse is, there the vultures will gather." So the tribulation will only last for a short amount of time. This great tribulation that did occur in history, you can learn all about it, but people love to say that it's still going to happen. And it was cut short. "But immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light, and the stars will fall from the sky, and the powers of the heaven will be shaken." Now, what is this talking about? A lot of people love to talk about that these are signs of the end times, right? That have not happened yet. And specifically about, the blood moon, and this is when the date's going to happen. "And the Son of the Man will appear in the sky, and then all the tribes of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of the sky with power and great glory. And he will send forth his angels with a great trumpet, and they will gather together his elect from the 4 winds, from the end of the sky to the other." So here is the section that people love to quote to talk about the rapture, right? But what is this talking about? This is a very metaphorical language. This is talking about, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. It'll be a dark age. The stars will fall away from the sky, and the powers of the heaven will be shaken. "And the sign of the Son of Man will appear in the sky." Jesus comes and reclaims his throne. The destruction of the temple ends the Mosaic age, the Messianic age begins, and the Son of Man will appear in the sky, and then all the tribes of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of the sky with great power and great glory. "And he will now send out his people. They will gather together, elect from the 4 winds," right? From the 4 corners of the sky. He's going to spread the gospel out, and the nations are going to begin being Christianized. And this is what we are seeing right now, right? And this is one of my favorite verses in this chapter. "Now learn the parable from the fig tree. When its branches have already become tender and puts forth its leaves, you know that summer is near. So you too, when you see all these things, recognize that he is near, right at the door. Truly I say to you, this generation will not pass away until all these things take place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. But of the day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but the Father alone. For just as the days of Noah were, so the coming of the Son of the Man will be. For as those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until that day that Noah entered the ark, and they did not know. Understand until the flood came and took them away, so will be the coming of the Son of Man be, right? So, the of the day and the hour no one knows, this is referring to the destruction of the temple, the abomination of desolation, and all those things, right? No one knows, and in this generation, this will happen, not in 2025. So this was a lot of talk of Matthew 24, right? All to simply just say that the rapture is not biblical. This idea of rapture ideology was recent and came about 200 years ago. So just please read verses in context, understand what it is talking about. And I'm not the best at teaching this kind of stuff. So I highly recommend looking into other people discussing these scriptures and talking about the rapture if you would like to learn more about it and how it's not biblical. But for now, God bless you guys. Love you all so much.